Dear all, thanks for visiting our project page on ResearchGate. I am here to give a brief introduction about our project, Effects of Climate Change and Land Use on Global Lake Fisheries. I am Yu-Chun, currently a postdoc at Michigan State University Department of Fisheries and Wildlife. I am working remotely at USGS Great Lakes Science Center at Ann Arbor, Michigan. Many people started their postdoc with a very specific job statement, while I only have this. It was like, hey Yu-Chun, we want to understand effects of climate change and land use on fisheries production in lakes across the globe. And I was like, wow, it's really a big question. How can we do that? Well, at that time, I think we definitely have to narrow down the scope. So I came up with a plan. I said, maybe we can predict changes in fisheries harvest given known changes in temperature, precipitation, and land use. By doing so, we could possibly identify lakes that are most vulnerable to climate and land use changes. Look, here are hot spots of lakes across the globe. They are under different levels of human activity impacts. Maybe I made a very good case, or I made it sound like a very good case. So we started the project. Our general approach is to analyze historical data from 1970 to 2014. We believe in this period, climate and land use changes had made significant changes in fisheries harvest across global lakes. Clearly, we won't be able to analyze every lake on Earth, so we started with categorizing lakes by depth and food and water security. These two factors would determine to what extent climate and land use changes affect fisheries harvests in lakes. In other words, we assume fisheries harvests for lakes within the same categories would respond similarly to the same level of climate and land use changes. With this general approach, we started with building a conceptual model. This is our conceptual model. The general idea is climate and land use changes in the watershed will affect water quantity and water quality in the lake, together with fishing effort and hatchery stocking. These factors will ultimately affect fisheries production. With this conceptual model, we identified an appropriate method for the analysis is Bayesian network modeling. So next step, we need to find out what data would be available to support our analysis. Surprisingly, there are more data available than what we had expected. We obtained the climate and land use data from global datasets. Then we initiated a global collaboration to obtain fisheries statistics and empirical data. Surely at that time, we did not know what data are available. So we just sent out a lot of emails to researchers all around the world and asked for almost everything that might be available. At some point, you can see from here, even Google complained about the number of our emails. Fortunately, we got very positive response to our emails from researchers all around the world. Later, we also went to conference and social networking events to find more researchers to collaborate with us in this project. At this point, we have data and collaborators for 30 lakes around the globe. You can see the 30 lakes on this map. They are distributed across 5 different continents. You can also see lakes outside North America and Europe have low level of food and water security. The only exception is Lake Biwa in Japan. With this collaboration, we have better idea about what variables can be derived based on available data across all these 30 lakes. With these variables, we built a general framework for our Bayesian network model. Basically, you can see how watershed variables affected lake variables and how lake variables ultimately affected fisheries harvest. Finally, about our current progress and future steps. We have developed a team with experts from 18 different countries, and we have obtained almost all required data. Currently, we are at a stage of standardizing variables across all 30 lakes, and we started to program our model into R. Our aim is to publish this work later this year. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please post them on our project page on ResearchGate. You can find it underneath the video.